With that, we have come to the end of lesson one, all right, which is on systems and project management. So we gave you a quick introduction of what are systems and what is project management exactly, all right? So if I can bring you back to your slides, right? When we talk about a system, right, a system is made up of a couple of subsystems, and then the subsystem is made up of components. Components can be further broken down into subcomponents, and then it is all these individual parts, which is the lowest level. So every little part, that makes your subcomponent. So this is the hierarchy structure of a system, right? And remember in your worksheet, we were asking you whether a pencil case is a system. But because the parts of a pencil case do not interact with each other, right? So pencil case is not considered as a system. But whereas a basketball game, right, is made up of the referees and then the players, the coaches. There's so many people involved, so many different parts, right? They interact with one another, right? They are closely related. So a basketball game, it is a system, all right? So, and then when we talk about system, we also look at the V model, right? So the V model will tell you, what are the different stages, right? Starting from the feasibility studies, right? And then you look at the system requirements. Once you have that, you can go down into the high level and detailed level design. And from the design, you can come up with your software, hardware development. And once you have that, you can go on to testing, verification, validation, right? And after that, operations, maintenance, or changes and upgrades. So that is a typical how life cycle of a system look like, right? Then we also introduced to you the waterfall and the spiral model, right? But what is important, we will be coming back to this V model frequently, right? In this module. So just make sure you take some time, digest this entire V model, make sure you know what it's about, right? So that's so much for systems. And then when we talk about project management, right? So a project basically has to be once off, right? Has to have a specific objective, has to consume limited resources, right? And again, I must repeat, it has to be once off, right? So something like cutting grass, it is not a project because it is not once off. It is done daily, weekly, or even monthly, right? So in your worksheet, right, we ask you whether cutting grass is a project or not. So it is not project, right? So project basically are bound by three constraints or iron triangle, sometimes we call it, right? So bounded by time, right? Number one, time. Number two, a project is bounded by cost. A project is bounded by quality and scope, right? So these are the three important parameters, right? To that determine whether a project, is successful or not, right? Whether there's enough time, enough cost, and then what is the quality or scope of the project, whether it's met, right? So these are the constraints. And then what causes the need for a project, right? So be it business need, right? Be it customer requests, market demand, social needs, or technological advancement. So these are the various needs, right, for a project, right? So maybe take this time, think about a project that you were once involved in, right? Think about, whether is it once off, and then whether it consumes limited resources, and what are some of the needs, right, that resulted in you carrying out the project. Because if you think about it now, it's going to come up for your quiz later, right? So before I end off, right, I also want to talk about the project life cycle. There are 5 stages from initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing a project, right? So typically that's the project life cycle, right? So lastly, if you're watching this video, right, I'll ask that you go through the entire set of slides, right, the full set that is issued to you, right? Make sure you're familiar with the contents, right, before you start the quiz, right? So at the end of today's lesson, don't forget to complete your RJ, don't forget to do your quiz. You must upload your complete worksheet as well, right? Um, so with that, take some time, go through again the slides before you start the quiz, and remember to submit all the deliverables that are required, right? I hope you enjoyed today's OCL, right? If you finish ahead of time, good for you, right? If not, you might want to consider managing your time, for subsequent OCLs, right? I hope to see all of you soon.